Hey guys, welcome to the Two Broke Gamers podcast. I'm Steve.
I'm Ricky.
And we're going to start off the show with a little bit of a tribute to Ralph Baer.
Yes, he had passed away this past Saturday.
The father of video games.
Yes, and I was just going to say, if you guys don't know, he is the father of video games. He basically invented the home console. He was imagining, making some sort of something happen on a television screen. And yeah, this is when they called it a television back in the days, in the 1950s. And he created something, the brown box, the original brown box in the 60s. Experimented with this all the way to the late 60s, early 70s, where he had something to sell. Magnavox was all about going for it, and hence the first home console, the Odyssey, was brought to homes, and video gaming has not looked back since.
Boom. So he was 92. So lived a long, nice life.
Yeah, and he was actually pretty proud. He still was very happy with what he's done, and what he brought forward to to video gaming itself. He was born in Germany in 1922. He immigrated to the United States in 1938. And he graduated from the National Radio Institute as a radio service technician. He was in the Army during World War II, and he joined Sanders Associates in 1956 as a staff engineer to the manager of the Equipment Design Division.
Nice.
That's quite a resume there.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's quite a life, man. I'm glad. It's not, it's pretty sad, but you don't want to think about the negative. You want to think about the celebration of his life.
Exactly.
So and this show is dedicated to him because we talk about gaming, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we're here because of you.
Yeah. Now, and it's funny because they had the Game Awards too the day before that, and it's an awful seg, I know. But, there was a celebration of games always, and, more games and more games coming out, and it's just, I don't know, you always got to think about it. Like, the games that were shown during the Game Awards, and you think about that, and you think about hindsight of where the Odyssey was, where it's just, basically it was a box that you hooked up to a super old school TV, where it modified the lights so much that, you played Pong, because that's what it was just Pong.
Yeah.
But it went from there to what we see now.
Yeah, basically HD graphics, your Call of Duty, your Halo, everything you're playing right now.
Even from the 8-bit era, from from then, even from PCs, from computers playing video games, basically to now, and it's amazing where it's come to.
You've come a long way.
Mm-hmm. We have to also announce that this may be maybe sort of the last show of the year officially.
Maybe.
well, you'll see next week. If not,
if nothing pops up on your feed next week, then it means that it was the last show of the year.
Yeah, but there's other specials.
We're trying to get something done. We're trying to get a holiday
shopping
guide and a year in review kind of thing going on, but we might not have time for that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
No, we'll have time for that, but I don't know about time for another episode. That's the other thing. At least I hope. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see about episode 28. Right now, this is episode 27, and we're going go on from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, even if we don't record next week, I'm going to give a happy early birthday to Steve because his birthday's next week.
And my birthday's next week, guys.
Yeah, that's why. It's like, you know what, let's do that. And then, but after that, because it's Steve's birthday, because, come on, now I can't, really do that to him. And plus I work too, so, whatever it is. And then after that, it's just Christmas and New Year's, and it makes no sense.
Yeah, and, our recording area won't be open on those days.
Anyway,
yeah,
so we get a vacation.
Yeah, right?
So we should be back next year. I just don't know the date, but we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah. And of course, even if this is the last show, thank you all, whoever reviewed it, whoever subbed, whoever retweeted, whoever favorited, whoever even looked at the damn blog that we just started using.
Yeah, right, yeah. Right, we finally started using the blog. It's been, we've had that blog for months.
Since July.
We just started using it. So yeah. I told you, I said it would be updated eventually, which it is.
Yes.
So
and other things are going to be up there as well. So maybe downloadable episodes of our show. Ooh. Take that on the go so you don't have to stream. You just have it right there in your file, and it's not even that big a file. MP3 files and not that huge. So
yeah.
Damn right.
We
got some things going on.
Let's move on to these video game awards.
Oh my gosh, Steve, I know you want to talk about everything so badly with these game awards. Now, the game awards, like we said, was like the week before. I was like, we kind of had some high hopes for it, and then the week after we kind of realized, oh wait, maybe not. But then I watched it. I watched it live. Steve missed it, unfortunately, but he caught everything afterwards. He didn't catch the award show itself, which I think was actually maybe a miss this time. Because it was actually kind of worth it. It was really cool.
Yeah, but I did catch a lot of the exclusives that they showed.
The first thing we want to talk about is go over the list of winners that we have. There was a lot of like. It was strange because they did some official like announcements, like they got someone on stage, they did the presentation, they showed all the nominees, and then there's other times where Jeff Neely, because I've been saying his name for ever wrong, so my bad, Jeff Neely, and yeah, I'm respecting that man now because that man made that show work. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the fact that maybe it was almost like a regular like award show, but then it wasn't. Yeah. But it was just really well done and really well produced. And it was well done. It was really nice.
Well, even like the Oscars and stuff, they only show you so many of the awards because they have a lot of awards.
Well, no, it's not like they skipped any. Like they would come back to him. Like he was the crazy part. He was the host, but like he kind of was like on the side, so he was never really on stage until the end. And it was weird to me because they never really introduced him. And then when they did like the Game of the Year, it's like, and here's your host, and it's like, wait, he was host the whole time. How did he get introduced like at the end? What is that?
I guess people just assumed he was host since he like paid for it. And set it up. Why not?
Yeah, but you know what though? I did like how that formula worked. I like that. It was just like I'm kind of here. I'm kind of emceeing the show. There was a DJ out there. Twitch chat was troll. I was watching it on Twitch and they were bashing that dude. Not even gonna go what happened there. But he held it down. It was a pretty good show. I liked it. Now, like I was saying, like there was awards that was done on the main stage, and then there was somebody put him to the side, and he was standing next to somebody and there's an award right there, and he's like, well, you know what? You guys just won an award. It's like for best whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, we're doing it like that then. All right.
Yeah, right.
Reggie got an award like that. Yeah. I think he got it for best fighting game. And that was another thing too. So we'll go over the list now. So like I said, the show overall good. I'll give it a thumbs up. And I'll tell you how people reacted to it too. It apparently got a lot of views too. Yeah. So now, best performance, which I have to note, was the best, funniest thing ever because it was Trey Parker from South Park Stick of Truth because he put in some work. Come on now. He always puts on some work in South Park. Now, he was in the same category as Kevin Spacey for Call of Duty, and his line was the best. He said, you know what? I love video games. I love this industry, and only in the video game awards where I can be nominated next to Kevin Spacey and win.
Yeah, right. He's a funny guy, though. I mean, he created South Park. Let's go.
Well, yeah, co-created, man.
Yeah.
South Park, man. Him and Matt Stone. I love those dudes. And I'm really happy that he won.
Yeah, that's funny. The next category was Best Score / Soundtrack, and it was Destiny.
Not surprising. I haven't heard much of the game, but of what I've heard, it's really nice.
I mean, let's just say I like Smash's soundtrack, but that's just me being biased, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what? It wasn't even nominated.
It wasn't even nominated.
Which is not fair, but maybe they didn't have enough time to... but here's the thing. They didn't have enough time to nominate that as a soundtrack, but then the Game of the Year just came out like a month ago. Like, I don't know, but we'll get into that. But Destiny also won Best Online Experience.
Yeah, and the Best Mobile Handheld was Hearthstone.
Which was just like, what? Okay.
Yeah, like I guess it is out for iOS, but most people play it on their computers anyway.
Yeah, no, like who does that?
It was up against like Bravely Default, Smash Brothers, and like it was like that. Okay.
Yeah, threes.
Sure.
Best fighting game, as we talked about, Smash Bros. For Wii U, because, why not? It beat out Street Fighter.
Yeah, it beat out actual fighting games. I mean, not to say Smash isn't an actual fighting game, but when you think of fighters, you think of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You think of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You think of like Marvel vs. Capcom. You don't mean Smash as a fighter, but I don't think of it as one. But hey, congratulations. I mean, Smash won something.
Yeah, I know. Developer of the Year also was Nintendo, which I
disagree with.
Why?
Because Sony.
Well, here's the thing.
Sony, but like
developer, they're the ones that made the games. And a lot of the games that came out this year for the Wii U was from Nintendo, and a lot of them were big sellers. Mario Kart 8, Smash Bros came out for both 3DS and that. They also had like some of the third, like what else did they have?
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, but that came out last year too.
Did it?
Yeah, it came out last year in November.
Oh god.
What else came out this year?
I swear to, I know. I'm pretty sure Link Between Worlds came out.
I remember it came out in November last year. I was still in school.
Oh no! Wow! Wow!
Yeah, no. And then there was the Kirby games that came out as well. There was a bunch of like first-party games. Donkey Kong Country came out this year too. Donkey Kong. And I mean, and all those games, and they got credit for all that. And I mean, like, think about it, because a lot of the developers came out with maybe like a handful of games, where Nintendo came out with a lot of games.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I see it.
Yeah. Best sports racing game out of FIFA and out of like other games. I really did not expect Mario Kart 8 to win this.
Mario Kart 8 won it. Yeah. You had best shooter, which is Far Cry 4, which I haven't played it, but I heard it's amazing.
Yeah, so
it was against a couple things that
I
I
actually
thought
was
were gonna
glad
win.
it didn't like go against Call of Duty or anything like that. Like I'm glad it didn't go into that real gamer culture. Like, oh, dude, Doritos,
Yeah.
dude. Like I believe it was in the same category as Call of Duty. If it wasn't, then whatever. But in all honesty, I'm glad it wasn't Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Or Halo, or even beat out Destiny, I believe.
Yeah.
Games for Change, Valiant Hearts.
What does that even mean?
I don't even.
What does that even mean? Games for change.
Maybe it's free to play. That's not free to play.
I would have called that freemium, but no, I don't even know what this means. Game for change.
Yeah, best narrative also was Valiant Hearts, so they just got that.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: they had the industry icon. It's the first year they did this, and I really did like this. Now I was not familiar with Sierra, the gaming company that really made storytelling in gaming much different, and was the pioneers in that. It was a husband and wife team, Ken and Roberta Williams, that put a couple of games together. You may know some of their games, but I do know Leisure Suit Larry and other things like that. But
yeah.
I mean, they give a big tribute to them. But I wasn't around or alive at that time, or even if I wasn't rich enough to own a PC that played like all these games that they created. But but the way they tell it and the way they've shown it, I didn't know they really were that much of an influence in game and storytelling and gaming.
Yeah.
And I'm really, it was a really nice moment. I did like it. And even though his wife cried too. Yeah, I mean, they've been around, like, here's the thing. They've been around since 1979, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, they were making games that crazily. And they did, like, high-res adventure, the Wizard and the Princess, which was one of their other games. The King's Quest, which was the main series that that was big for, and to a point, and they also did Leisure Suit Larry series as well, and they did a bunch of other games too. But they also they went from that from their presentation to introduce a new they actually had to introduce a new King's Quest game that was still done by Sierra, because Sierra's still around making games.
Nice.
I believe both of them are retired now. But they had a new one that captures the spirit of the old one, just with like up-res graphics and everything else. And I think that was kind of sweet too, how they did that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The next category was, I love this one too. Best independent game was Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
I love Shovel Knight.
I don't know if it's actually exclusive to Nintendo anymore now, but we'll talk about that
we'll
later.
talk about it later.
Yeah.
But best remastered, Grand Theft Auto 5. I completely disagree.
Whatever.
It was like Last of Us, and like how many times Last of Us has been remastered 4 times, and it's only been out for 3 years.
I know.
Then you had Grand Theft Auto 5, which again is just they just re-released it on PC. I think that remaster should have gone to the Pokemon Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because it was years. It's been like 10 years. They just revamped the game completely.
It's not a year between the separation.
Yeah, exactly. Like they had to do so much to revamp this game. I think it should have won because I loved it. But again, that's probably just my bias.
Best action adventure game was Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. Best role playing game. Oh, do you have something to say about that? Sorry.
No, I say I would understand that. I guess I haven't played it, but I've heard it's really good.
Best role playing game: Dragon Age Inquisition.
Best family game: Mario Kart 8.
There you go. Here was the Fans' Choice Awards. Most anticipated game was The Witcher 3, which, funny enough, well, that's been actually delayed too, and we'll talk about why in a little bit too. Best esports player. This was weird. Now they hyped up that they were gonna have like a little moment for esports, and it really turned out to be a moment. It was basically they had the dude on the side. This dude was talking to him, Jeff Neely, and it was like, it's Nade shot. Oh, here you go. Here's an award. It's like, oh, okay.
Hey, here you go.
And then the best team of the year was Ninjas in
Pajamas.
Ninjas in Pajamas
For Counter-Strike. Which actually I think it should have gone to one of the Samsung teams for League of Legends. But whatever. I think this is my bias again.
Yeah. Trending gamer was Total Biscuit. And I understand that. He's a guy that he streams a lot and also does a lot of things on YouTube.
I watch a lot of streams and I watch a lot of YouTube. I have no idea who Total Biscuit is.
He's more of a sarcastic kind of guy. He does a pretty funny stuff.
You would think that like Trending Gamer would have been won by like PewDiePie or something.
He was in the category, funny enough.
And he didn't win?
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising.
Well, you know what it was too? That's probably because of his cancer too, because that was the reason why he actually is a professional like streamer or player now.
Throw my hands up. Yep, cancer wins.
Yeah, because
cancer loses, but cancer wins.
Yeah, and that's the thing with that. Like he gave his whole story of how he ended up where he was.
I understand now
and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's why I think they had that. So and then Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah.
And then best fan creation is of course Twitch Plays Pokemon by Anonymous. You know, it's anonymous because it's Twitch Plays Pokemon. No one knows who runs it. Just some dude runs it, and it was huge. You had the fossil prophet and everything.
Yes.
It took over. It had a mind of its own for quite a while.
Yeah. So, and of course, Game of the Year, because, that we kind of try to save that for last. Dragon Age Inquisition, which kind of surprised everybody because everybody's like, okay.
Well, like we touched on this last week, I didn't like any of those games in that category. The only game I would have even suggested would have possibly been Game of the Year out of those games was Dark Souls 2, and it
just came out. It just came out,
So, I don't know.
But you could make the argument for Smash, but, I mean, like, there's a little bit more time. Like, I don't know. I mean... maybe a lot of people because that's the thing. I didn't even really hear of it. In all honesty, it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, Dragon Age. I didn't know they had another one.
I thought that was a game that came out earlier this year, which is why I didn't really hear of it. But I was like, no, that actually came out like the other day. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, but it's whatever.
So sticking on the Game Awards too, there's a lot of trailers. Nintendo was really highlighted a lot in this award show, and I don't know if it was because of how badly they looked during the VGAs, or what, or maybe this is like their redemption show because they showed off a lot. They came out with their big guns. They started off with Mario Maker, which I was just like, oh, okay. I hope there's more to this because I don't want the same fiasco of last year for Donkey Kong Country where everybody hated it and Jeff Neely made it uncomfortable for Reggie asking questions because but that was the thing because even Jeff was just like, look, dude, like you have something better than this. Come on, give me something because he knew people weren't gonna like just Donkey Kong Country as like an exclusive when everybody wanted Smash Bros or Zelda.
Yeah.
So this year they delivered on Zelda. I could talk about that because that was the last game too. Mario Maker was highlighted, which we talked about is basically the ROM hack, the legal ROM hack version of Mario games now that you can share with your friends and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's, so I thought it was only be the original mode, the original Mario 8-bit, first Mario, and then the new Mario Bros. Styles, but they actually introduced, Mario World, art style, as well as Mario 3's art style. So I think that's really cool that they included all four of those in one game to make stages with. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, this game, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and I just like to think, I look at Mario, the 8-bit one, the first one, and I just think, ROM hacks. And then when I see Mario World, I just think of, Lunar Magic, and stuff like that.
So I didn't play any ROM hacks, so I have no idea. I just play original games.
Yeah, Codename Steam was also highlighted too, which didn't really wow me in any way, but it has a release date of March 13th of this year, so that's coming out.
Of 2015.
Yeah.
Well, you said this year, technically this year.
Oh, that next
14.
year. Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Technically.
And then a surprise game, Godzilla, was announced. Godzilla was announced for PS3 and PS4 coming out next year. It's like a fighting style.
Is it going to be like the Godzilla game that they had for GameCube?
I think
Destroy
so.
All Monsters? That game was fantastic.
Well, remember, there was also a fighting game for the SNES, too, that nobody remembers. This Godzilla game. I forgot what the hell it was called. I think it was King of Monsters or some crap
I don't know, but Destroy All Monsters, one of my favorite GameCube games ever.
And especially with HD graphics, man.
Oh, my God.
Witcher 3 was also hyped, too. There was a delay in that game. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that was also shown. The Order 1886 also was shown. I mean, it was kind of cool graphics. I just don't really know what the game is about, so I was kind of like, we'll find out more about that later. Tacoma was shown off, which was a teaser trailer. It just didn't really show much. So same thing with Before, which it was just a long trailer, and everybody was just going along with the song because it basically it's African type of style, like Lion King type of music, like you could compare it to. Everyone's like, ah, like everybody's in chat just like saying A. Yeah,
and there was another game too where looked pretty hype, except that there was just a small trailer with not very much to show. Haze Light. I mean, the game looks. I don't know if I like it or not. I mean, it looks cool. It looks nice, but the trailer is just two guys in a train for about 30 seconds. And it's like Haze Light. I'm like, all right, cool. What's your game about?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. The super teaser trailers that they showed, like those two games, were just like, okay, why did you waste my time with that? Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Online looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
They showed that, and I was like, oh wow. I like Keifer Sutherland as Snake. I don't know. I don't know. I just do. But then again, I like Keifer Sutherland anyway. I don't even care.
He's all right.
And then, after all that footage, after all the stuff that happened on the Video Game Awards, then they showed the footage of Zelda.
Which looks fantastic.
Yes, it does. It looks beautiful, plays beautiful. I tweeted it out, and I eat my words right now in this show. I said that I want that Zelda demo graphics. I don't want this art style crap that's been around since, Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. I'm tired of this. Nah, this game looks beautiful, man.
This game looks really nice.
And that map, though.
That map, and also that jumping mechanic.
Yes.
You jump off opponent, you're in slow motion. Like, that's
Matrix style.
That's it's some Matrix style. It's awesome.
Well, and another thing, too, about Epona, you're not really steering Epona anymore either.
It's on autopilot.
Yeah, so it's Epona will dodge trees for you and just keep it moving.
Although, it'd be funny to troll and just hit a tree.
I know. It's just, I always did that in 64. We just run by it anyway. Who cares? Like, it's a game. I remember slicing Epona. It's just like, it doesn't do anything, see?
And we also got a little bit of a hint inside of the Zelda trailer as well.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. The little banter between
There's a little bit
Aonuma,
of banter going on between them.
Aonuma and Miyamoto. And Aonuma was like, hey, so what about that Star Fox game you're working on?
And he's just like, ha, 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 no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's going to come out before your game anyway.
Yeah, I love it. But you know what I would love? If Nintendo was super troll and their game, like Zelda was basically Star Fox comes out November 20th. Zelda comes out like November 21st.
Technically, it came out before Zelda. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So overall, the whole Game Awards was amazing. The trailers for it was actually pretty cool. I did like most of them, not all of them. And, I hope. And as an end result. Apparently, the viewership, a lot of people actually agreed with this too. 2 million viewers watched, and that is a 75% increase over the VGAs last year.
So it looks like we might get a VGAs next year as well.
Well, actually, it's the Game Awards now.
The Game Awards, whatever. It's the GAs. I mean,
the GAs.
The point is that it didn't fail like it did last year, and it looks like we may, in fact, get one next year.
Yeah, which would be great, and you know what? Keep it simple. That was the theme about this show, and I don't know if it was because of the budget or whatnot, but it was simple. It was kept simple. It had a little bit of an orchestra, and a bunch of music, especially from I forget the name. They had a band there too. I forget the fuck their name was now, but whatever. From the music and everything, but. The award show was actually pretty good, and I hope it gets bigger and bigger from here on, especially the way it is now.
That'd be nice. I'll watch it next year.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, of course, our Smash Bros. Talk, because it's dwindling down because, there's not a lot left.
And the games are all out.
Yeah.
And it's, the next time. Well, we're probably always going to talk about Smash Bros. Whether it be a little bit or a lot.
We might even include in our eSports section at this point because it could be about our gameplay, further stuff from Nintendo, more controversy for Nintendo, and we'll talk about that later because we'll talk about all the controversy about Amiibos and stuff in Nintendo section. But right now, this is strictly Smash.
Yes.
And it's really funny because the pick of the day. Oh no, it's not funny, but it's kind of sad because this pick of the day has ended.
Yeah, Sakurai's pick of the day is going to be no more. The game is out in every region, and he feels like he's got really nothing else to post.
Yeah.
He could still. I probably won't be pick of the day, but I think he'll still do pick updates, obviously, especially with Mewtwo not being released yet.
No, he just said that's it. That was it. Like he had the whole he had the whole like paragraph. It was basically on a Friday because the game comes out on a Saturday in Japan. So he came on a Miiverse and he showed like the opening screen, just like he did for the US version and the UK version. He showed like the title screen for Smash Bros. And I actually think the UK was the same. I think he just showed a stage. But he talked about it and he said, it was cool. And it just started off as a bonus, but now it's just done. So here's the last paragraph of his quote. It's nice to finally be able to get one weight off my shoulders, but we promised to create Mewtwo as a playable character, so I can't relax too much yet. I hope you look forward to Mewtwo joining the battle.
You don't think he's going to have a post every once in a while with the progress of Mewtwo?
That's it. It's done. He just said one weight off his shoulder. The man's been stressed enough, man. What are you trying to do? You trying to kill him, man?
Well, no. I'm saying like it doesn't have to be pick of the day, but it could be like pick of the month or like random pick. Like it could be just an update on Mewtwo every so often.
Nah. I mean, just on Mewtwo, just an update on one character versus the whole game.
Well, the whole game's out.
No, it's not. No.
Whatever.
No.
I would appreciate a little bit of Mewtwo updates every now and again.
So now let's go into the sales of Smash Bros. It's almost nearing 1 million for Wii U, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that.
Yeah, in all honesty, I mean it's safe in the Wii U, but I mean there's already 1 million.
I was calling this game like the savior of the Wii U. Is gonna sell like 3 to 5 million copies in the first month. It's not.
Well, yeah, Mario Kart's already selling more.
Yeah.
But then again, look at the Wii last time. Mario Kart outsold like a bajillion to like 1 to Smash Bros. Anyway. I mean, Smash Bros. Did sell a lot, but Mario Kart was the game. But, you know, in the U.S., it's a show. It almost hit 500,000, 490,000 in the first few days. Japan had like 244,000 its first week. France had about 200,000, and that's expected until the end of the year. The UK had 31,000. That's a minimum first week. So it's almost going to be, it should be a million seller anyway. Someone's predicting that it may hit 2 million by the end of the year. Who knows? But I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't very impressed by the numbers, and I was very let down by this.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, I mean, you know, the U.S. came out last year. The other, last month. I mean to say in November. The other two came out this month, basically. You know, end of the last month, this month. So who knows? I mean, if people are still buying, especially around Christmas time.
Yeah, I guess so. But like I said, I don't know. I expected this to sell way better.
Now. Here's a crazy thing. Nintendo Europe is going to finally do something what everybody's been waiting for here. The Smash Bros. Wii U bundle.
Basic bundle.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's the basic one. So
it's basic.
That 8 gig Wii U that like nobody wants, it's going to be part of Smash Bros. So if you want Smash Bros. That badly with a console, you're going to have to get a basic one.
And it doesn't even come with like the GameCube adapter or anything. It's just
nope.
It's an 8 gig console in the game. It's not really worth it.
Yeah, it's from Europe. It's only confirmed for Spain. Other countries may come. You never know.
8 gigs though?
Yeah, I know. It's Nintendo. What do you expect, dude?
But it's like the Wii U has a 32 gig. Like most Wii U's have a 32 gig hard drive, which is still not a lot of space. You're gonna cut that in thirds,
dude. That 8 gigs would have been. Yeah, no, dude. Like it's that 8 gig would have been cool if it was like 1995 and you were using Windows 95. Like, there's no reason for anybody to have an 8 gig anything at this point, unless it's an SD card, and even then, or a flash drive. I mean to say,
yeah.
But still,
an 8 gig flash drive, I could deal with an 8 gig flash drive, but an 8 gig console, it's gonna run so slow. I do not want. So let's talk about Sakurai. He talked to Famitsu again. All the Famitsu stuff. He talked about Smash Bros. And he was talking about the inclusion of the Duck Hunt dog, which, you know, was very curious. That was a very unexpected character by any means. Well, yeah. When I heard, like, you know, you can go back to some of our way previous recordings. When I heard Duck Hunt during the leaks, when they were leaking Duck Hunt dog, I was like, there's no way. It's stupid. How's it going to work? Like, I was totally against the Duck Hunt dog, whereas Ricky was all for Hunt dog.
For it.
And so, when I found out it was real, I was like disappointed. I wanted to kill myself. I was in a really dark place. But we're back.
And you used him. You kind of like him.
He's all right. I have kind of let him go. Like, I tried learning him because he's got an interesting kit, but I also then realized that if people are aggressive and they can get in on you, Duck Hunt dog is useless.
Yeah. So now he said he thought long and hard about, but he liked the uniqueness of the character. How he talked about how the Duck Hunt could be one of the best-selling shooting games in the world, as it was bundled with the NES back in the days in the U.S. So that's funny. That's how he included him. So it's just like bringing the spotlight back to something that hasn't been highlighted since.
Yeah.
Talked about the 8-player Smash. He actually planned it since Melee.
Really?
Yeah. But he said that it was technically impossible, and it barely managed it on the Wii U version of Smash Bros. So here's a quote. "It was a thing I considered when thinking about the follow-up for the first Smash. It was more than impossible based on technical performance. This time it was just achieved just barely. In 8-player Smash, the stage selection is limited. Stage gimmicks are changed, no bosses, for example, and so on."
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to play I haven't got a chance to play the Smash at all.
Yeah.
But that means I haven't got a chance to play the 8-player either. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I will eventually, I'm pretty sure, but as of right now, I haven't got a chance to play it yet, so I don't know if it's laggy. I haven't heard if it's laggy, because I don't know anyone who's played it yet.
I don't like it. I've done it with on the regular. I know I've done it with the with the PCs, and I'm just like, I can't see myself. I can't find myself.
Yeah, that's why I feel like there's too much chaos.
Yeah,
So-
I can't find myself half the time, so I'm just spamming A and just like, oh, there I am.
Well, I've always been a one-on-one player anyway, so
Yeah.
if there's 3 people and 4 people, I'm like, gross. Too many people. So I don't know how I manage with 8.
So last thing, talked about the unique selling points of Smash Bros 3DS, which and the Wii U, which is basically Smash Run in the 3DS and Smash Tour in the 3DS. They decided on those exclusives from the beginning of development. He also said talk about the game mode itself and the hardware. Game options depend on hardware's performance, and those were changed during development. Yeah, I don't know if that's much of a quote, but whatever.
Yeah,
So
but
that's-
I don't know. I've heard Smash Tour's not fun.
it's not. I tried it. It's kind of meh.
Like, I love Smash Run. Smash Run is so much fun.
Amazing.
But Smash Tour, I just heard it's nothing. It's, it's as an exclusive, it's like,
Nah, I could have done with something better or without it, honestly.
like Smash Run.
Yeah, I could have done with Smash Run.
I love Smash Run. We were actually just playing it today.
Nice. Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh, we're recording?
Yeah, of course we are. So, all right. Pokemon's out, and, especially ORAS. I just like saying ORAS. I know it's ORAS. ORAS.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, well, apparently it's already sold up to 7.7 million copies.
Which is what I expected Smash to sell, but
Yeah,
no, yeah, it's great. I love it. I still can't get enough of this game.
Yeah, and this is why I don't like those other sales figures that were like said by other like publications that it was like Pokemon was like 2.2, and I was like, that's what it was last year. That's why I know it's way more, and especially to the point right now that Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire at 7.7 worldwide is just ridiculous right now.
That's crazy. It's been out for what?
A week?
Yeah, not even a month.
It's been out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been out for maybe 2 weeks or so.
So going on with Ruby and Sapphire, funny enough, the European Virtual Console is going to be coming out this week with the Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire version.
Which I wish it was coming out with the Virtual Console in America.
It probably will, because they did that before with the first Pokemon Pinball, and then they released something
The first
else
Pokemon
too.
Pinball was amazing.
Yeah, so
I didn't get to play the Ruby Sapphire one.
So maybe there's going to be a chance soon.
Well, that's why I want it to come out.
Yeah, man.
That'd be great.
And then also there's going to be a Pokemon Mega Stop that's going to be in participating Gamestops. Basically, there's going to be a bunch of Pokemon merchandise and a bunch of retailers of GameStop around the nation. So people who get stuff can actually get a chance to win various prizes. So here's the thing. Prizes include like digital booster packs that are redeemable in the Pokemon TCG online. One limited edition Pokemon 3DS XL with the Primal Groudon and Kyogre.
The Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre.
Yeah, that's it. That thing. I don't know how to say these names. I'm old. No, I like my 151. I can't go past that.
Gen 1er.
And of course, the VIP prize. If you get grand prize, you get a trip to 4 for Hawaii. Ooh. So we'll probably put a link to the Pokemon GameStop thing. So they have that thing going on right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's about it for the Pokemon talk. Let's do Destiny.
Destiny.
Now, they released a big DLC pack.
They did.
People are hyped for it. People are bored with it.
Yeah, I've heard that it's still not worth.
Here's the thing. Okay, you came out with a game in September, $60. Didn't have much. You have people pay $20 for an add-on to this game, which didn't add a lot more either. What the hell?
People are still buying it. That's the thing.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know if I feel like $20 is enough for that DLC, in all honesty.
Like, people are saying that even with the $20 DLC, Destiny still isn't worth the $60 they paid for it originally, plus the $20. Now you're paying $80. They're like, this game is not. It's not worth.
And it's funny because I'm working with people who just every day they talk about Destiny, and they're just like, dude, I can't wait to find this gun or that gun or this, or oh my god, they finally believe me, because they wouldn't believe me on the exclusive content. They're like, wait, dude, PlayStation has an official gun that Xbox owners don't have.
We do this for a living, guy.
Like,
Listen.
come on, for a living.
No, we do this for for content. We look into this stuff. Believe us. But no, I've actually heard that the new raid is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just that after that, there's still not much to do.
Yeah, so before we go into the DLC, it's really funny because some PlayStation owners had a problem with it. What happened was you try to start up Destiny, and all of a sudden it's like playable and it's a countdown time for the DLC. So some people were reporting it on Reddit. People were like upset about this because it's like, I paid this game. Why the hell can I not play this game right now? Why is there a countdown? I want to be able to play this game before the DLC comes out. Like, come on now, really? To a point where people resolved it by just uninstalling the game and then reinstalling it. Yeah. And then later the DLC downloaded.
But let us know what you think of if you've played the Destiny DLC. Let us know what you think. Do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Do you not think it's worth it? Are you waiting for more? Like, just tell us what you guys think.
Yeah, seriously. So now, here's the thing, too. This week's heroic content, which, is like, I guess, one of their strikes that they have. The heroic ones are requiring the DLC for people to play. There's gonna be normal content. It's gonna be started again next week, but this week is all about people who have DLC. So if you don't have this week's strike, if you don't have the DLC, you can't really play this week's strike. Sucks to be you, man. Sucks to be you.
So, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I don't think I know anybody that doesn't have that DLC. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. Bungie had to talk about how Destiny's expansion will make your other items already obsolete.
That's how it always is, though.
They're saying that it won't, though.
What?
They're saying that it won't make it obsolete.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah.
I mean, look at World of Warcraft. Every time they come out, because I remember I played World of Warcraft in vanilla WoW, those 60 cap.
Nice.
Then they came out with Burning Crusade, which increased it to 70, but it was like you had all your epic gear that you farmed out for months and months that was capped out at 60. Then you go into the new place, and the first piece of gear you see at 61 is like, wow, makes my 60 gear obsolete as hell. Really? And then from that same thing happened from 70 to 71. You replaced all your epic gear with common gear. It was like, oh wow, that's insane.
So here's the thing. Bungie had to go to his website to clear things up about the Dark Below and talking about their expansion and how weapons won't be obsolete. So the community manager DJ had to talk about this stuff. Now here's a quote about the weapons. The last thing we wanted was for you to look at your favorite gun or helmet and decide that it had become obsolete. Since the reveal, we had a lot of ideas of how this could be done better. Your feedback is clear. The time you have invested in your stuff should be respected. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Again, I'm going to make a Warcraft reference here. They did a thing now where, if you don't like the look of a piece of gear, that's like a piece of new gear, rather.
Gotcha.
You can transmog to your old gear. So it'll have the stats of the new gear, have the name of the new gear, but it looks like your old gear.
That's actually
which
really
is
cool.
Awesome because I when I played Warcraft, I had the tier 5 set. Well, I was a priest. It had like wings and stuff. It looked really cool. And then they came out with the new set. I hated it. So if I ever go back, I will transmog to my tier 5 gear and all that stuff because it looks really nice.
Nice. Now here's a funny thing. Bungie's been talking about the Destiny future. And it's funny because they're talking about how Destiny 2, all your progress from this Destiny is going to carry over to the next Destiny, but isn't the next Destiny supposed to come out in 10 years? Like, how does how are you talking about part 2 already?
Unless they're abandoning that plan.
I don't know. It just was weird because I don't think they made Warcraft to make, you know what I mean, to last as long as it did, but they did, and people are still buying into it, and people are still playing it.
People are still playing it. They actually just had the new expansion come out last month.
Like, you know a lot more about this. Did they ever plan it like that?
I mean, I don't think they ever planned the game to die. In fact, like I'm gonna admit to this. I kind of started playing WoW again. Don't get addicted, man. Don't lose. I don't want to lose you, man. No, well, what happened is...
what happened?
My friends all got the new Warlords of Draenor, the new DLC. And, of course, I've been on Skype with them. They've been talking about it. So I decided, well, let's see what Blizzard can offer me. So I haven't played since the beginning of Cataclysm.
Gotcha.
They gave me... I actually didn't even own Cataclysm.
Damn.
So actually, I haven't played since Lich King, rather.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. So Blizzard actually gave me Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria for free.
Damn.
They gave me 2 weeks of game time, and so they're like, see if you like the game, and if you like it, you can buy Warlords of Draenor and play with your friends and stuff. And I was like, We're gonna try that. So right now I'm just playing my 2 weeks of trial of the 2 expansions I didn't get to play.
Blizzard shout outs, man.
Thank you, Blizzard.
Yeah.
Pharrell.
Yeah. Now, but that's the thing too. But did they make it? They didn't plan this game to be that long? Because the Bungie went into this saying this is going to be a 10-year game, and now they're talking about part 2. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't ever hear them talking about Warcraft. World of Warcraft 2.
Well, I actually probably think they did mean to make this game last forever. Because, every time it starts to die down a little bit, they see their numbers start to drop, they release a new expansion, the numbers go right back up. So, it's like, I'm pretty sure at one point, either it was during Cataclysm or during Mists of Pandaria, the numbers went from, because WoW was always like, 13 million, 14 million.
I remember
at one point, it dipped down to like 7 million or something.
Yeah, 7-8 million. Yeah, I remember
it dipped down to almost 7 million, which that's by no means a small number. But for what they're used to having, it was a drop. And so then they released War of the Draenor, and it's back up into the double-digit millions. So.
And that's the thing, too. If people are constantly complaining about, Destiny right now, but, I don't ever hear a lot of complaints about Warcraft. Like, I really don't.
Cataclysm kind of screwed things up.
Oh,
That's kind of why I stopped playing.
Gotcha.
Because it was like, it got to a point. I mean, it's still not there, but
yeah.
No, because it got to a point where 60 cap, your health was like the tankiest of tanks had 6,000 health, and like what the hell was it? Burning Crusade, you went up to like the teens, and the tankiest of tanks were in like the 20,000s, whatever. And it got to a point where like you were in the 100Ks. It was ridiculous. So I think tankiest of people are still around 350,000 health or so, which is it's crazy. But you do the damage to support and all. It's just I don't know. It's just it got to a certain point where it's like the numbers are way too high.
Gotcha. That's just I don't know, man. But I mean, but people aren't like because that's the thing. It's not like people were complaining about it even then. People are complaining about Destiny right now as being boring and everything else.
Yeah, well, let's say WoW wasn't. It got boring to me, but it gets boring when you do the same thing over and over. It gets boring.
Yeah,
it's just good. That's going to happen. That's why you take breaks from things and then you come back to it. Like I got bored of it. I haven't played for a year and a half. I came back. I was like, oh, it's actually kind of fun. Yeah, So
yeah,
I don't know if I want to get into it again, but we'll find out. But it's like whenever you increase the level cap and you increase the numbers on the gear and you increase everything. Everything's going to start to, it's inflation. It starts to get out of proportion. So it's like there's a certain amount of, but at the same time, if you're a higher level than somebody, you deserve to have better numbers than them.
Yeah.
So, but the gap between the numbers, that's up to the developers to decide. And so I guess they want to, I don't know, it's up to them.
Maybe it's just because it's a shooter and people are expecting more out of a shooter of being like a longer lifetime than anything else. Like people are still used to playing Halo still and playing like that type of game, even though it's completely different from that.
Yeah, no, it's completely different.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just the audience. Maybe it wasn't the right time for this audience. Maybe who knows?
I don't know. I think it's just they didn't release enough content.
Yeah,
I think if they had released a lot more content with their original game, then it would be like people wouldn't be so upset about the DLC. But it's the fact that they weren't happy enough with the game itself, and then they released an underwhelming DLC for $20.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's just more to complain about.
Yeah, that's true. So now we'll go on to Bungie talking about raid matchmaking. Because, people, that was one complaint about the game. Matchmaking wasn't there. And so, people just played at random people at random levels, and it was just kind of like, oh, man, this guy sucks, or, whatever the case may be. This guy's at a lower level. And it turns out that, Destiny, Bungie's acknowledging that, matchmaking. They've acknowledged it, but
they don't have any plans for it.
No, they don't. Not at this time, but yeah.
Another WoW reference.
Yep.
It took WoW the longest time to make raid matchmaking in their game too. I think it wasn't until after Wrath.
But Halo does that though.
Well, Halo doesn't really have raids though.
Yeah, I know, but they do it for battles.
Right, but that's different. That's PvP.
Yeah.
Everyone has match-made PvP.
Yeah.
But it's like to take down bosses and stuff, you need to know who you're playing with because you need to have communication. It's an important factor. And it's just like just knowing who's good and who's not.
Yeah.
Determines how far you can go in a raid. So.
But people are already doing that on their own. That's why there's like I know a website. I don't know if there's more now dedicated to having people meet up online it with their time zone or whatnot, what time they're going to be awake or whatever.
That's called coordination.
Yeah, and then people just go online at the same time, meet each other, and do raids that way.
Yeah,
and there's people doing that outside of the actual console. So if you're going to do it like that, I mean, why not introduce it in game?
But it's different though. I guess getting matched up with a random person leads to more complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
If you and I didn't know each other, and I'm like really good at the game, and you're just a casual player, and you get messed up in my raid, and you do something and mess everything up, I'm gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're not as good at the game, and I'm like super great, and we meet up online and say, hey, you want to do a raid with me? Like, all right, I'll be more willing to forgive you if you mess up because I've talked to you before and I know who you are, as opposed to being a random person, because people love to flame randomly.
Yes, they do.
So I don't know. I think it's for the best to keep raid, matchmaking online raiding away.
We'll talk from there to Halo 5. Apparently, the beta is going to be 10 gigs, but that story's been debunked, saying that it's just a placeholder size. Maybe it's going to be less. But I mean, a 10 gig beta.
A 10 gig beta is ridiculous.
But then again, too, the Master Chief Collection was like 25 gigs, and you gotta understand it's like multiple games.
Yeah, that was also like 5 games.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
10 gig beta. You better be. That sounds like the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Although probably not actually. Wasn't there was one game that came out this year that was like 40 gigs or something.
Yeah, that was Fudge's face. Titanfall.
Titanfall, yeah, because I knew one game was like humongous. Which I'm surprised actually Titanfall wasn't up for any awards.
Yeah, I know, right? And Destiny too. Destiny was pretty big too. I just don't remember how big.
Yeah, I think Destiny was in the 20s.
Yeah.
But I don't know, a 10 gig beta, how much of this game are you giving people? Because if you're not giving them a lot, 10 gigs for the beta is too much. If you're giving them 10 gigs, you bet it might be half the game. You never know.
Yeah,
so it depends how much of this beta they're actually giving you.
Yeah, even though Bungie's confirmed that it's not, it's just a placeholder. I believe it was Bungie or someone from GameSpot. The Microsoft representative said that the size is a placeholder. So
okay.
I mean, even still, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it was shocking at first, but when you really break it down as to why it might be 10 gigs or it might not be 10 gigs, then you're like, all right, let's just wait till it actually comes out.
All right, so the Master Chief Collection is getting an update. It's basically matchmaking.
Because it doesn't work? Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah, I think it's that too. It's basically, there's a whole laundry list of everything that's improving, like matchmaking and parties, custom games, achievements, game-specific updates, stability, and miscellaneous stuff, which we'll share a link for you because it's a whole long list.
Because basically the game doesn't work.
Basically.
Because I've had friends who have waited for this game, and they are so disappointed that the game doesn't work, basically.
One final thing of Halo, I think it was Halo, yes, of Halo 5. They've apparently been focusing this game for eSports. So it looks like it's going to be the new Halo for MLG for everybody to play.
Hey, I guess they're looking for the competitive scene.
Yeah, so actually the multiplayer beta, Guardians, will include a spectator mode, which allows esports enthusiasts to broadcast and commentate on live matches, apparently.
That's cool.
So yeah, apparently it's important to them. This is coming from someone who made one of the developers. When you think about Halo, it's such a tailor-made experience for esports, especially with that competitive edge, getting back in the level of playing field and everything. So I put a lot of focus on surrounding features. As a spectator, you could go in and live spectate on any of your friends' matches in the beta, and you could flip between first person and third person. So if you want to cast, you could do that in a Twitch stream. So yeah, look at that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to make another reference to a different game here.
Yeah?
League. League of Legends has spectator mode.
Yes.
Except that it has a bit of a delay to it.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a 3-minute delay.
Really?
Between the game and your spectating.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how long wards last.
Gotcha. So
they don't want you being in a Skype. Say we're in a Skype call and you're playing. They don't want you and me. They don't want us communicating through my spectator mode, telling you where the wards are, where people are coming from. So if they're coming into your, they don't want you, spoiling ganks for people and so whatnot. So there's a 3-minute delay, and I like it. I do like it actually.
Okay.
I mean, 3 minutes is a little long, maybe 2 minutes, but then you'd be able to obviously again tell where rewards are and stuff. But they want you to figure that on your own. And whereas for the live tournaments, the delay is like 5 seconds or something because obviously there's going to be no one spoiling anything.
So to continue on that, they were talking about the streams and, and top players and stuff. So here's the thing. There's going to be a rewind and fast forwarding through the match, assuming that you're tuning in if there's a bit of a delay. So if you wanted to go back and replay a specific moment, you can do that within the controls. So they're looking to do other things with the controls as well. So that's really interesting.
That's cool.
So as far as the delay, who knows about all that? That's probably going to be working specifically. But it also is probably going to be working for the high-level MLG Halo streaming. So you can see third-person and first-person views as the controller who's streaming it, you know? Who's going to be in spectator mode, which probably, if there's going to be much of a delay, it's probably not going to be a delay for the actual person there broadcasting the game itself on Twitch. Because I think they do that differently now. I mean, differently right now because they actually physically like go from screen to screen to screen. Whereas if it's all going to be in game right now, I mean, it makes it very easier and very handier.
Yeah, no, definitely having a spectator mode will make it a lot easier to stream the games and show them on live and stuff like that. So definitely, it's a good change.
Oh yeah, that's why. Even going back to Smash Bros. Real quick, there's going to be a tournament mode still added to this game eventually. It has to be updated, which is weird. It didn't come in the game. But I still wonder if there are going to be, like tournaments for people who are doing it in their house, like, whatever, or if there's going to be a special tournament catered for players who do, or let me rephrase that. Or if there's going to be a tournament mode that's specific for actual tournaments, where if it's double elimination or whatever the case may be for that,
Yeah.
And that could be very well done too, in all honesty. Because, I mean, Pokemon has that. Pokemon has their own tournament mode that's enabled when you're at a tournament.
Yeah.
So
That's and League has it too. They have a separate server. They've got their like live server, they've got their tournament server, and their PvE server and everything. So they've got different servers for different things.
Gotcha. So now we're going to go on to the section of the show that's all about all the games.
Yeah.
All the games. So one interesting one that I really wanted to talk about is the controversy that Rockstar, or Take-Two actually, is getting from Australia.
GTA 5.
Yeah, from Australia for GTA 5, where there's a bunch of retailers out there that are banning the game because of the domestic violence against women. Which, I mean, it's understandable, but
it's completely understandable.
But it's a game in the end of the day too. I don't know, man. It's I mean, like, it's been banned. It's been off their shelves. There was a petition against GTA for doing that. Where basically because basically what the big thing is that in the game you can perform sexual acts with sex workers or prostitutes.
Yeah.
Beat them and murder them, which has been in like a lot of the games in the series.
In most of the games that you've been able to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Now here's the thing. The Take-Two CEO Carl Sladoff talked about this. He said that the petition is an infringement on free speech, which, I mean, it's another country, but, I mean, in America, it's like that kind of works, but here it's in other countries that gets a little touchy.
Yeah.
So here's a quote. For a person or a group of people to try to make that decision for millions of people, we have 34 million people who bought Grand Theft Auto, and if these folks had their way, none of these people would be able to buy Grand Theft Auto. And it's really, and that really just flies in the face of everything that free society is based on. It's the freedom of expression, and try to squelch that is dangerous and a slippery slope to go down. Which, I mean, he has a point, because, I mean, like, where are the people who aren't complaining about this? I mean, because the people who don't complain about this are the people who, understand that this is entertainment. This is a game.
Yeah, and I feel like the people who do complain about it are people who don't even play video games.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and that goes for not only just video games, that goes for other medium as well, like TV, where there's an offensive show and it's probably something that nobody watched, like the people who are processing it not watching, or even a movie or anything like that, or music, where it's like, oh, this person just talks about violence and everything, and this is going to result in people killing each other and this, that.
Unfortunately, that's kind of the way society is these days.
Yeah, I know. It's always been like that, though, but it's just the fact that they're not willing to look in a mirror and look at society itself and not the products of society.
Which I agree with them. They kind of said, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Yeah, and that's his quote. If you the exact quote is, if you don't like it and it's offensive to you, then don't buy it. And that's been an argument for years. Like, I still remember even like going back to like, here's some DJ reference stuff. Howard Stern. It's just like, well, if you don't like what I'm saying, then don't listen to my show. Turn the dial. You know. Like,
It's like, you know, I'm not sitting there and I'm like, here's $60. Go buy Grand Theft Auto and play it. You have to do it. Like, I'm not doing no.
People are abusing people in the game. Come on, I don't want to play it. No, you have to play it.
Yeah, we're not forcing you to play it. If you don't like it, don't play it. Don't buy it. Just move on with your life and do something else.
Like you said, millions of people and there's thousands of people protesting, and you know, there's a big difference in that. And that small voice gets louder, and that's the thing. But really, the people who, you know, the other millions of people who own the game and like it aren't going to say anything because they like it, they played it, and they moved on with their lives.
They're home playing the game.
Or they just moved on to another game because it wasn't for them to just be like, oh, I'm offended. Like, no, it's just like they.
And I'm not condoning violence against women.
Yes,
don't
get that twisted.
Don't get it twisted. There's never a place for that.
No,
but it's. I'm not even say it's just a video game because, I mean, it is just a video game, but it's, you know, it's a tough subject to even talk about.
It is, because it's just like, it is a game, and it's in the game, it's in the storyline, and it serves some sort of purpose in it. Is it right? No, but it's in the game. I mean, it serves no purpose. You get money. Like, really, like, why are you beating down a prostitute?
Yeah.
You know? But it's in the game, and I mean, like, but a lot of people don't take it seriously because they know it. But it's not like they're actually going out there and trying it in real life, because you're not going to beat, you know, a prostitute and money's floating in front of you to grab. You know, it's not like that.
The fact we've had to spend 4.5 minutes talking about this is it's a little stupid.
I know. It's just, and that's just the way it is. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I do hope that they're going to be able to resell the game in Australia again in certain other retailers.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that one.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I think we're just preaching to the choir, because I think a lot of the people that would listen to the show anyway are people that just don't get offended by gaming.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird out there. So, you know, just try not to take it seriously. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's out there, but don't think that the violence is going to come from TV. The violence comes from home.
Yeah. Or just psychotic kids. Whatever.
Yeah, like I said, it comes from home, or it comes from traits. It comes from people. It doesn't come from entertainment.
Yeah. And actually, you know, let's talk about something that we were going to talk about.
Yeah, Witcher 3.
The Witcher 3. We had mentioned in the Game Awards it won most anticipated game, but it had a bit of a delay.
Yeah, but delayed by 3 months. And why?
Well,
I thought you knew. Sorry.
No, I mean, there's
you want to know why?
Some bugs.
No, here's why. Yes, there are bugs, but they don't want to release their game and have a buggy game release.
Right. Oh,
they don't want to do what other companies
like
are doing.
Assassin's Creed or something. Like,
yes.
You know.
Yes, they said that. Here's a quote. The market is afraid of badly polished games on next-gen platforms. There's a lot of small errors that they need time to discover and eliminate. So we know what we have to do. We just have to do it. We don't want to release a game with bugs that undermine the gameplay. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to
Halo.
even cough it. The Assassin's Creed even know they screwed up.
Yeah, I know. They had to give the DLC for free.
Ubisoft knows they screwed up. I have friends who to this day still complain about how bad it is.
Yeah. So and that's and you know what? Good for them. Good for them. I like that delay.
I completely support this delay. I know everyone's been waiting for Witcher 3 to come out, but I'd rather wait a little bit longer for a quality game than have them release a piece of crap.
Yeah, basically. And that's what I think happened with Smash Bros. Too. That was delayed because of bugs too. And but the problem is, I mean, they still found bugs, but that's going to happen because people are still trying to discover the game in other ways. They're not only just playing the game, they're playing the game to see what the mechanics are.
Did you know that if you counter with Marth at the exact moment that Little Mac hits his KO punch, it freezes the game? Like,
yeah, like who finds that?
Yeah, like and also while Donkey Kong is taunting at the same time, it freezes the game. Like, who experiments on this stuff? It's like a lot of the bugs that people find in some games happen like if you do like 5 different things at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's game breaking, except that it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. But that's the thing with those glitches.
They found them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But that's the difference between the glitches that the other people are finding just by playing the game and not doing anything but playing the game.
Yeah.
So at least they took their time to just be like, you know what, we're gonna do this right.
Yeah. I don't know, but good. I like this delay.
Now, another follow-up from the Game Awards, Shovel Knight, as we said, it hit a milestone. It sold 300,000 copies, I guess, of the game.
Yeah, and that's only on the Wii U and the 3DS.
And PC.
Yeah.
And that looks like that's not going to be the case anymore in the future. Because announced as well is that because Sony Experience happened this past weekend as well. We're going to get into that first. We're not even we're going Sony first and Nintendo first. Wow, I know, right?
Yeah.
Now the Sony Experience had announced Shovel Knight coming out for their consoles, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation Vita.
Yes.
And not only that, Kratos from God of War is going to be in the game.
He's gonna make an appearance.
Yes,
it's a 16-bit game, so
8-bit style, but 16 like
it looks a little more 16.
It is, but it's supposed to be the 8-bit style, but it has too many colors for 8-bit. So yes, it is like 16.
I'd like to say it's a 16-bit game.
Yeah,
but 8-bit's a little more blocky.
Yeah,
it's not that blocky. It's let's say 16-bit.
All right,
but,
fine.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to see a 16-bit Kratos, then enjoy that one.
Definitely. Now, the thing with Shovel Knight 2 that kills me is the fact that I know Sony, and I know it's going to be slightly different because here's how you buy it for Nintendo consoles. If you have a Wii U, you buy it for the Wii U. But if you also have it on the 3DS, you have to buy it for the 3DS too. It's the same price, by the way. Now, on the PlayStation consoles, you know damn well that they're going to have crossplay. So if you buy it on the PS3 or the PS4, you probably could play it on either of those consoles, or even on the Vita. You probably can pay one price and play it for 3. That's what I'm trying to say. But for Nintendo, that's not the case, which I think is crappy. But
the thing is, though, the Vita has a decent enough engine that it would be able to play a game that you purchased for the PS3 or PS4.
Yes.
Whereas the DS does not have... I mean, I'm not going to say the Wii U has a great engine either, but the 3DS version is... The engine, is definitely not up to par with the Wii U.
Yep.
So that's why you had to purchase 2 different versions.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same game.
It's the same game, but why would you? That's just it. Why would you buy the same game for the different consoles?
I don't know. Well, that's why I like the crossplay. But I mean, who knows how that's gonna do for money? But we'll see what happens. Let's see if that hurts it or helps it. That's another thing too. 300,000. That's a good milestone.
There's also a much bigger audience on the PlayStation, on the Sony network right now.
That's true. PS3, PS4, Vita. There's a lot of people there. But hopefully they'll buy that game too. That's another thing.
Well, it just won Indie Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's true.
So
and it's got a little buzz behind it.
Yeah, there's hype behind it.
Mm-hmm. I actually still have to get that too. Funny enough, I have not played it yet. I
have. Shovel Knight, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I played on someone else's.
Nice. Talking about old games, Battlefield 4.
What?
Yeah, remember that game?
Yeah.
That's one of the old buggy games that everybody hated when they first got it. DICE wants to actually release more DLC for this game.
But the catch is, you decide the DLC.
Yeah, that's where they're taking polls and everything, asking people what's going on. They want to, kind of feel out, what do you want?
Yeah, let's not be creative and think of our own DLC. Let's just ask the people what they want.
It's they posted a survey, like we talked about. The poll listed more than 150 maps ranging from Battlefield 1942 to Battlefield 2142 to Battlefield 3 as candidates that will be reimagined for Battlefield 4. So there's your DLC content right there. And they also said too that rest assured that we'll get back to you on the future of Battlefield 4 when the time is right. So they're planning on it. Just who knows when it's going to come out.
They'll get there.
It'll come out eventually. Assassin's Creed is going to probably have a patch. The next patch is going to fix most of the game's problems.
Most of them, but not all of them, apparently.
Yeah.
Which, we were just talking about buggy games and whatnot. How about you spend a little more time in your game and you don't have bugs?
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. Now, Elder Scrolls Online is actually delayed again for the PS4 and the Xbox One. This game was supposed to come out this year. Basically.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out in May, supposed to come out in June. Sorry, it was supposed to come out in June, then in May they announced a 6-month delay, which would have came out now. And now it's like, no, it's going to happen next year, buddies.
Yeah. I mean, it came out for PC already.
Yeah.
And I don't really know the numbers on it, how it's doing. But apparently it's not doing too bad. Yeah. I don't think it's doing too great either. I think it's just I feel like PC, when it comes to those kind of games, World of Warcraft just dominates the market.
Yeah.
So everyone tries to be World of Warcraft, and they're just not.
So Sony news, something that I failed to mention last week, which it has nothing to do with the consumers. It does it does in some way, but it has to do more so with the people who work at Sony. And I think this is more Sony as a whole, not just Sony Computer Entertainment. I think this is like all of Sony. Apparently, there was a huge hack of Sony that like leaked like most of their employees or a majority of their employees like personal information, social security numbers, and everything else like that. Private emails, which people have made stories about, like like there was found that like there's not a big like there for Adam Sandler,
Wow.
or just the fact that there was going to be a crossover between like 21 Jump Street and Men in Black, other things like that.
Weird.
Two other weird stories about like personal like work emails between lawyers and stuff like that. All that's out there, and it's unfortunate. And I feel bad for all the people and people who are affected, because all this was done for. People are saying that it's pinpointed towards. I think there was rumor going around that it was coming from Korea and North Korea, and people are talking about how that it was rumor of it, and North Korea has already denied that. And it's more so because of the fact that that movie's coming out with the interview.
The interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah.
James Franco.
Where they interview Kim Jong-un. And, it's such a big controversy where, Kim Jong-un banned the movie already from that country, and to a point where, they're saying that Sony's, Sony's whole entire, like, everything got hacked because of this, just for a movie. And it's just really sad if that's true.
It's unfortunate. Anytime anyone gets hacked on anything, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's why I just want to, just kind of like give a moment for them and just kind of let them know like this sucks, but we're feeling for you. And I definitely wanted to shout them out on their show too, because it's just like I hope they're able to pull everything back together and protect their servers a lot better. Because the thing is too, I guess at any event anyway, like anybody could be hacked at any point. I mean, like whether you be Sony, whether you be like anything else that's supposed to be secure,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, but. I mean, moving on from that, though, because it really isn't. I wanted to give a quick mention to that. I don't want to go into any of these, like, the real stories of people's information and the other, like, gossipy, like, email stuff. I don't care about all that. This is a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on from that. Sony, before we talk about the Sony experience, we talked about the 20th anniversary PlayStation 4, which was basically the look of the PlayStation 1. Which
The
is
gray
really cool.
one. The gray PS4.
Yeah, and it's so limited. To a point where it was on pre-order, and even the pre-orders are up for sale.
Yeah, dude.
They're reselling for tens of thousands of dollars already.
There was only what 12,500 of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just like I would have loved to have one.
Well, here's the thing in London. There's like a place in London that's selling them for $19.94. The year came out. So people lined up and got those too, and those are going to be selling as well. But I mean, like you made a hell of a profit. You go from like $20 to like $10,000, $15,000, and that's for a pre-order, by the way. They don't even have the damn console
They don't even
yet.
have the console yet. It's just that's your pre-order.
Yeah, that's that's weird. And then one other thing about PlayStation, they're going to be bringing back faceplates. Remember, old consoles used to have faceplates back in the days, and now it's coming back to life.
Yeah, no, I feel like consoles have always had faceplates, though.
Swappable ones? Well, the 3DS has it now, but, the PS4, a home console to have one, that's pretty cool.
I mean, but you've always had, like, stickers and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. You did your own thing.
Yeah, the Xbox always had Xbox 360 had stickers and faceplates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You could put stickers on your GameCube. They had cut out pieces in the shape of your console, so you didn't cover anything important.
Yeah.
But you also had like your stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's always been the creative people always found a way to do it.
Yeah, I still remember when I got mine from Nintendo Power back in the days. I had the stickers for, it was for the NES controllers, and then it was one that I had covered for the Game Boy for such a long time that, like, I unstuck it, and it's just all that gooey residue.
Gross.
Yeah, I still have to use Goo Gone on that stuff. I keep forgetting on that.
The goo.
Now, finally from the PlayStation experience, because really this is all the news for Sony.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things they talked about, like Uncharted 4. First like preview, and the graphics on that thing are like
oh yeah, they're sick, dude. It's like real life,
dude. It's I don't even know what to say more about that. Like, you have to watch the video in itself. It is
yeah,
crazy.
like Uncharted always had good graphics, even from the first one.
Yeah,
and now it's just like it just gets better and better. Like I said, it's just like it's as if you're Nathan Drake and you're actually doing the treasure hunting. Like, it's sick. So kudos, tip my hat to you.
Hell yeah. So the other big thing too about Uncharted 4 is the fact that the two of gaming's biggest voice actors, of course, but from Naughty Dog, are going to be in this game, and that's going to be Troy Baker, and of course the guy who voices Nathan Drake, Nolan North.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I do like that as well. That's a really cool thing. So hell yeah,
Sweet.
Besides that, we talked about something I didn't talk about during the Game Awards section, but was also shown again. No Man's Sky, which I forget was coming for the PlayStation. That was going to be a PC exclusive, but it's actually coming for the PS4, and that game looks beautiful for no reason. I just still don't understand the point of that game, but I would just love to own it. But
I'd love to find out what the game's about.
It's basically an exploration game where you're going through space and you're finding planets with dinosaurs and planets with other things. It's crazy. It's really cool.
It sounds like fun.
It is, but the graphics are like, holy crap. But I just don't know if it's like a real game or if it's one of those art games where you just kind of do stuff for no reason just to see things, like that type of deal. Which, not to knock that genre of gaming, but, I don't know. I kind of want to point to that game too. But if it's just exploration and you get to see something like that, I mean, I'll take that too. I don't care. That seems to be worth it for me, in all honesty.
Graphics are a big part of your game.
No, not exactly. But for only very handful of games where you just see just the visionary, you're just like, all right, you know what? That's good enough for me. I just hope that it's good enough for me to want to buy it too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Square Enix being really troll. I remember finding out on Twitter about it, and I was just like, finally, Final Fantasy VII's coming to the PlayStation 4.
Woo!
Oh, I was like, yes. I mean, finally, all these people can stop complaining about the damn remake and blah, 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 and this, that. And then gonna find out it's just the port of the PC version of the game.
Troll or what?
Oh my god, that is so bad. Everybody wants this game so badly.
Everybody wants an HD remake of Final Fantasy VII.
And instead they went on stage and people got so hyped, and then the silence after they were like, it's a port.
Yeah, and
it's a port of the PC version, which is strange to me, because why not just re-release the PlayStation version of it instead of the it's like, oh yeah, but it's been upscaled. It's like, yeah, but how much? They're still blocky.
Still a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also going to be spelling error corrections and stuff finally after all these years, and it's just I don't know, just remake or bust, in all honesty.
Yeah, just remake the whole game.
But apparently, people have made great points about this, because this is a hot discussion on the internet for a while too, where people are like, well, what if they do remake it? You know how much money that's going to cost? And, there was 2D graphics rendered on 3D graphics. Some of they had the fixed camera and you were moving it up a big stage on one screen. And then only a certain stages you were able to move in. So, if you're going to re-render a game like that, could that work as the same imagery? Or would you make the game fully 3D? And would that upset people? Would that change upset people? Would the fighting system still be the same? Would that upset people? And their new current looks, that type of thing.
Yeah, you're right. There's a whole lot of stuff you have to look at. And, but the cost, I don't think would affect it. It's like, how much would it cost to make it compared to how much would it make?
Well, here's the other thing too. Remember, Final Fantasy VII was one of the most expensive games at the time of its release. It took up millions and millions of dollars. It took about 3 years for that game to be made. Because I remember even the commercials where it was just like, oh man, this game took forever to make and blah blah, and here it is, Final Fantasy VII, and it's like, oh man, this game looks beautiful. And that looked beautiful back then.
Yeah.
And now,
now you can see
it's like crap.
Now it looks horrible.
Yeah.
But people are still like, oh, it's the best Final Fantasy ever, which that's debatable.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never played them. We've had this discussion before. I was never a Final Fantasy person, but you have, and it's not your favorite Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VI is still my favorite, which I'm still waiting a remake for that. I'd rather have because that's the thing. They've remade 2, 3, and 4, I believe, as 3D, even on the 3DS or even on phone. I don't remember, but I know they've done it. And I think they've kept the same battle system as well. If not, they've tweaked it a little bit. But if they've changed it a little bit, they've changed that game. So why can't they do it for Final Fantasy VII?
I think 7 is everyone's favorite game because of Cloud and Sephiroth.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's really what it is.
That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with the actual game itself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but there's a whole big just fascination with it. But then again, too, it's come out too, and I don't even know how 100% true it is, but we're going to put it out there in the show because screw it. But apparently, in order for Square to make a remake of Final Fantasy VII, there has to be a Final Fantasy game right now that makes more money than Final Fantasy VII, which may be impossible.
Yeah, never going to happen.
Yeah, so maybe that's why the quality of Final Fantasy games have dropped from then because they don't want to outsell Final Fantasy VII. Nah, that's very...
Nah, I doubt that. I think they always want to outsell Final. Like that's the
Let's-
goal.
let's
The goal. The dream is to outsell Final Fantasy VII, and they're not living up to the dream.
Yeah, maybe it's too high of a standard. Maybe they have to think outside the box and make a new, different type of Final Fantasy. Maybe they should go
Let's
backwards.
aim for 10.
Like, well, that's the thing. Like, they're going futuristic. Why not just go back to the past at one point? Why not do the original? Why not have the mages again?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, you know what it is. Everyone's always trying to reinvent the game world.
Yeah.
They're trying to reinvent the scene, so they've tried different things. When it's clearly been stated that gamers don't like change. Gamers
That's
just
true.
like the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty has made over $1 billion in revenue from just releasing the same product every year.
But that's actually going to change too. That's maybe another discussion for next year.
Maybe.
Next year.
Haha.
But no, someone had brought up the point that there's a generation of gamers right now that are playing like Minecraft, and if they grow older and try to play Call of Duty, they're not going to really like that type of game because Minecraft is more of an exploration. Like Minecraft has no story, but you make your own story playing that game, that type of deal.
Right, but that's a different category of gamer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these first-person shooters, they love first-person shooter gamers love this. FPS gamers love the same thing over and over and over.
But here's the thing: that generation of people, because remember, there's a ton of kids playing Minecraft right now, so they're going to grow up to play the games of the future.
It doesn't matter. A lot of my generation, a lot of my friends, they love first-person shooters, and I'm pretty sure at 40 years old, they're still going to be playing first-person shooters.
But when they all grow older, especially that bigger audience, they might be dictating the game thing.
Then they'll shift the game meta then. But right now, first-person shooters like the same thing over and over.
That's true.
Look at Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon sold 7 million copies in 2 weeks.
And that's kids and adults.
It's Pokemon. They added a few new features every here and again, but at the end of the day, Pokemon's been exactly the same since Generation 1. You got 4 moves. You level up your Pokemon to evolve them. You beat the Elite Four. You beat the bad guys. And then, that's it.
You compete with your friends. That's
You compete with your friends, exactly. Like, if you think about it, Pokemon's been exactly the same since 1998, 7, 6, whenever the hell it came out. Actually,
Yeah.
in Japan, it came out like 95 or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's been exactly the same since 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And people still love it. They still keep buying the same thing.
And meanwhile, the latest one was a remake.
The latest one was exactly the one that sold 7.5 million copies or whatever it was, is a remake of an older game.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shows you some people just don't like change.
Now, talking about a game that has not changed, they actually announced a Street Fighter game coming for the PlayStation, exclusively for the PlayStation.
Ooh.
Now, before I get into that, I remember it being leaked at some point, because I think it was like at some point last week, before the PlayStation experience, there was someone on YouTube that posted a trailer for Street Fighter V, and then it was later made private. And it was just like, that can't be real. No way. And the people who saw the video said it's going to be PlayStation exclusive only, console, and then PC. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I didn't believe it, and it's for reals. It's for reals now. It's for realsies now.
For realsies.
So here's the interesting thing about Street Fighter V. Well, the one thing I don't like about it is the fact that, Capcom is really just, come on now. Like, the latest version of Street Fighter 4 just came out. Like, come on now. Like, really, Street Fighter 5
Well, that was like
gonna
the
happen?
Mega Super Street Fighter 1.
Yeah, and then who's to say that the next Street Fighter, that's like Street Fighter 5 Ultra, Ultimate, whatever the hell it is not going to end up on a PlayStation, on Xbox consoles as well.
Yeah, I mean, but for right now, they're calling it PlayStation exclusive, which is going to make some people angry, because I know a lot of Xbox people who love Street Fighter.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. The Xbox executive had talked about that, too, and we'll get into that in our Microsoft section of the show. Here's the thing. Now, why it's exclusive to PlayStation is because that Sony helped make the game. Yeah, so Capcom and Sony have been working together to make it, so that's why it's only going to... And here's the quote. PlayStation 4 will be the only console this game ever appears on. Ever.
So they're saying there's not even a hope for for Xbox One.
Yeah, and now here's the other interesting thing about it, too. So it's going to be PC and Sony. But you want to play it online, like as it was before, you only play people on each server. You can't cross-play ever,
cross-play.
Right?
You hinting at something?
Yeah, well, looks like there's going to be some cross-platform play.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So you know what though? You know what? Just let's all just stop. And you know what? At this point, I think the next console generation is gonna be PCs. Like they're just gonna stop at this point. It's not even gonna be a whole console. It's gonna be home PCs. It's either Sony's gonna make one and Microsoft's gonna make one, and maybe Nintendo does their own thing. Like that's it. Like,
Nintendo comes out with the Wii 3.
because the thing is, it's like
the Wii U Me.
Because I mean, there were certain games like I remember Portal 2 being able to cross-play with people that on PCs, you know, on Steam. And now the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One basically are PCs because they have the architecture of x86, which is just a basic PC, like system. And so for this to be able to happen, you know, playing people who are playing on PC, playing people on PlayStation 4 is incredible. And at this point, it's just like, you know what, just make it all one at this point. At this point, it's just, why separate everybody at this point if everybody's going to own, like, the same game and play each other at this point?
Yeah, well, it's weird because actually, when Xbox 360 first came out, there was a game called Shadowrun. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not.
No, I don't believe I have.
Xbox, this game, Shadowrun, it was cross. You were able to, it was a Microsoft exclusive. It was on the 360 and PC. And you were actually able to play each other. So you were able to play people from the 360 and the PC in the same game.
Wow.
And actually, if you go back even further, Quake, was it Quake? I'm not sure if it was Quake 3. I think it was Quake 3 Arena. But it was out for Dreamcast as well.
Yes.
And so there was a PC version. And you weren't able to, but people found a way through, you know,
hacking,
modding, and all that stuff to connect the Dreamcast to the PC.
Wow.
And I'm not sure if I don't think it was Quake 3. It might have been Quake. No, I'm pretty sure it was Quake 3. If not, it was Quake 2. It was something like that. But people found a way to play the Dreamcast version with the PC version, and obviously mouse and keyboard superior or what.
Yeah.
But ever since Shadowrun, I've never heard of a game that's been able to cross-platform like that. So
except for like Portal 2 that I talked about on Steam, and that's really it.
Yeah, but even then, everything mostly it's been Microsoft products that have been able to cross-platform. So it's gonna be weird to have a Sony cross-platform with a Microsoft, you know, PC thing.
Yeah, which is I don't know. Like I said, at this point, I mean, the games on the Xbox One and PlayStation are about the same, except for like a handful, and that's really it. But in all honesty, it's going to be one at one point, and Nintendo's still going to try to be separate, but at some point they're probably going to make some sort of PC too at some point. But I'd see the future of gaming going towards PC.
Because PC master race.
Yeah.
We had to say it at least once in the episode.
Yeah. Another Street Fighter news, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is also going to be coming to the PS4. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
That's all we got on that one. Shovel Knight, like we said, that's when it debuted. It debuted and showing Kratos in the game exclusively. Fat Princess Adventures, which I didn't know they were actually making a game series of her, because I mean I didn't hear of Fat Princess before that fake Smash Bros game, PlayStation Battle All Stars.
Yeah, All Stars.
Yeah, but yeah, it's there's a game coming out for it. It looks like a game. I don't know. I didn't really have an opinion on that. Yakuza 5, which is a cult game series here in the U.S., but big in Japan. It got to a point where people were requesting it so much and requesting it that Yakuza 5 is going to be coming to America and Europe, but for the PlayStation 3, not PS4.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, but I mean, at least people are happy they get it.
Yeah, people are happy they're gonna be able to get it.
They don't care. Some gamers are not picky as they're made to be.
Yeah.
And that was like mostly the big highlights of the experience. There was a bunch of highlights, a bunch of like, you know, letdowns. Grim Fandango too was talked about as well, just to give that a mention. Other Sony news. MLB 15 The Show is going to get an in-game radio show,
which is cool.
And also they announced their cover guy, Yasiel Puig of the Dodgers.
I can't stand him.
That dude's had a horrible life, man. You don't know his story, man.
But it's just like, he's such a showboater.
Well, come on, dude. There's a whole baseball discussion they could have on why that is, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But
I'm just saying, as a sports fan, he's a showboater, and I'd rather have a guy like, I don't know, Mike Trout on the cover.
You'd rather have David Ortiz?
Yeah, I'd rather have David Ortiz.
But he doesn't showboat either?
Not as bad as Yasiel Puig.
All right.
Yasiel Puig is... We're not talking about... This isn't a sports show. This is a gaming show. I don't like Yasiel Puig. All right?
There you go. So, but he's on the cover. There you go. End the story. Basically the Daisy knockoff, H1Z1. Yeah, it's gonna have early Steam access. January 15th, and it's gonna be it's access. You can pay for it. It's $20. And it's just the beta. It's not the finished game. So you can basically do what you were doing on Daisy.
Yeah, so Daisy all over again.
Yeah, basically.
If you want to replay Daisy, then buy H1Z1.
Big news about Final Fantasy X and X2. You're actually going to get the HD remaster, and that's coming to the PS4. Not 7 though. Why waste your time on that?
Why waste 7?
But Final Fantasy X2 is going to be coming. Square Enix confirmed that it's going to be also coming to the US next spring, and it's going to be priced at $50. So that's not bad.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah. So that's funny. One other thing about from going back to the PS experience, Gang Beasts, which I know that's your favorite game from PC that you haven't really got to play yet. But that weird ass fighting game is gonna be coming to the PS4, so that's awesome.
That one actually looks that's the which one is that?
That's the fighting game where you're like a blob and you throw people down pits and stuff.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that one looks I want to play that game so badly.
And then there's people speculating about Hideo Kojima, who's the guy who's who heads and makes Metal Gear Solid 5. Which, real quick about the Game Awards, Keifer Sutherland had so much love for the video game industry. It was like so crazy to see a big celebrity like him just break down and really show his love for video games, especially working in them. He's like, dude, like the hits experience, like his speech was like really cool in the beginning of the show. But people were talking about his shirt that he wore, and people were trying to decipher whether that's the date of when it's coming out.
Yeah.
So there you go. And I think that's about it for our Sony news. Let's go into Nintendo after that.
That's a lot of stuff.
First off, we got to say happy birthday to Satoro Iwata.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. 55.
Woo.
And, he had his health scare and everything, but glad that he's back in health and celebrating his birthday.
Yeah.
So thankfully that, and still running Nintendo, and at the end of the year, turned it around from how people are like, dude, Nintendo's going to fail, to, okay, they got some sales now.
Yeah, they're floating. They're above water.
Funny thing about Nintendo, we always talked about all the lawsuits from last week. Here's another one. There was a thing from Tomita Technologies where Nintendo apparently said that it was that there was a judge actually last year that said that Nintendo was using one of Tomita's patented technology for their cameras for the Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo appealed it, and it actually successfully appealed it. So now it's like, yeah, there you go. So here's the thing. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit said that the judge correctly interpreted the key element in a patent related to the display of 3D images on a screen without special glasses for the viewer. The misinterpretation then confused the jury, the court said. The Kyoto-based Nintendo appealed the lower court, finding that its 3DS gaming system infringed Tokyo-based Tomita's patent. There's a lot of numbers, so you don't need to know the numbers. While the appeals court said that the patent element was interpreted correctly, it rejected Nintendo's argument that the patent was invalid. The appeals court sent the case back to New York for a new trial based on the jury's instructions that clarified the confusion over the patent element. So yeah, they did it, but now it's going to go back into court anyway. So
okay.
So I mean, I hope they get that. I mean, if not, then Nintendo owes more money to more people like Phillips and stuff like that.
They copying everyone's ideas or what?
I know, right? Like, I don't know what's going on there. The Wii U was great in the beginning. Because it had this awesome deal if you got it like first run. There was a digital deal where if you bought games on the eShop, you get points, and all these points add up to you getting money, and then you using that money to get free games.
More games.
Yeah, it's really awesome. But it's so sad because I didn't know this had a time, but apparently there's a time limit to it, and it's the end of the year. December 31st, 2014 is the last day that you can download stuff and get points for it. The program... the actual points, the actual deadline to exchange your points for an activation code is going to be March 31st. So you get a few more months after that. But after that, that's it. That's unfortunate. It doesn't look like Nintendo's going to bring it back either.
Dang.
So here's the thing. A lot of drama happened over the week of Nintendo with the Amiibos and the GameCube adapters and them being discontinued and not discontinued. And I don't know if some of the rumors were legit or if they were just articles from gaming sites for the clicks or whatever the case may be. But it was just so many back and forth that I just didn't know how to go about like reporting this until we got actual final news. So I just might as well just get the timeline aspect of it, showing you that this is happening, this has happened, and the comments that have happened. So let's go with Europe first, because there was a short supply of Amiibo to a point where Nintendo of Europe said they're going to keep a regular supply of Amiibo, and especially the amiibo that was rare, like the Wii Fit Trainer, Marth, and Villager. And especially with the rumor that came about this weekend too, that those 3 amiibo were going to be discontinued, which also raised the price of them tremendously online. It was freaking ridiculous. So and that was a thing too. And then they said that going to the amiibo, sticking with that. So here was the thing. Nintendo talked about some things, and it's really crazy about the amiibo because, like we said, the Nintendo UK said they're going to have plenty of stock, but then there were so many people hearing these rumors about these, amiibo being discontinued. People were trying to get in contact with people from Nintendo, people calling customer service trying to find it out, all this stuff, to a point where a Nintendo of America representative said that the amiibo models won't be discontinued. And this is NOA's assistant PR manager, David Young. He said this as a notification to fans of Nintendo that there's more of them on the way.
That's good.
But then there's another story that I also read that Nintendo's confirming that they're going to discontinue it. But I don't know if there's actually a confirm or what, because here's the comment. This is a spokesperson for Nintendo talking for Wired. We will aim for certain amiibo to always be available. These will be for our most popular characters like Mario and Link. Due to shelf space constraints, all the figures likely will not return to the market once they have sold through their initial shipment. So it's just too many things going on where it's like one saying one thing, one saying the other. It's like, what is it then?
Yeah, is it they're going to make more or they're not going to make more? How about you guys confer with each other and let me know?
Yeah, because here's the thing. People are upset at Nintendo for how they're handling this because it's like people have said, oh, Nintendo's always done stuff like that where they purposely don't have a lot of stock in things and that's how they get the hype and all this other stuff. But it's hit to a point now where people are really trying to find a GameCube adapter. People are trying to find Amiibo. And people are upset with the Amiibo because they just came out and they're discontinued. So there's people who have never seen certain Amiibo. Like I have yet to see a Marth Amiibo in person.
I haven't seen one either.
I've seen all the Amiibo except for Marth. Like I've literally not seen Marth in person.
And that's the one I want most.
Yes. And I've seen the Wii Fit Trainer, and I kind of regret not buying it now.
Yeah.
Because I could have probably made some money off of that. Same thing as Villager. I've seen plenty of those. It's funny over here. But they're probably sold out now, especially with the news. But, still, I mean, people are upset because it's just like, yo, why do this? Why discontinue it after the first couple of weeks? Like, why do that? Like, but I guess, I don't know. It's just Nintendo's way. Nintendo is just doing that and making, like, this thing real, I guess.
I don't like it.
Why not?
Oh, because I want a Marth Amiibo. That's why.
But now here's the thing too, like Nintendo's doing this, they're making it like, I guess, I don't know, maybe they're doing this on purpose to make it hot because look, I don't think anybody knew how to read the Amiibo because I kind of saw it as a collectible figure. Some people actually want to use it for Smash Bros and other games as well. And people probably saw it for both because I always thought it'd be a cool figure and then also it works for games.
Right.
But now, I mean, it's going to be a huge collector's item, especially some of the rare items, which we talked about, like the Samus one with the 2 arms, the 2 gun arms, and such like that. But to discontinue all of them, like once they're gone, that's it. That's kind of lame.
That's stupid. I don't like that.
But I mean, and I guess because of the shelf space, but I understand that because I mean, there's not a big section of it because the market's already dominated by Skylanders and Disney Infinity, so there's not a lot of space left for that. And I guess I understand that. It's not like Nintendo could be like, yeah, we need that space. Like they're not going to be able to do that because those things have been proven to make money.
Yeah.
Nintendo is just trying to prove itself right now, but
these things are clearly going to make money.
Yes, and they have so far. They've made Nintendo a lot of money so far.
Yeah.
To a point where, like, I guess maybe they're also clearing the space for the second wave, and I see the second wave clearing out too. In all honesty,
I don't know. I want them. Why do you have to stop? Like, I don't know. There's only been one or two shipments so far. Like, I want a Marth Amiibo.
So here's the thing. The second wave has apparently been put out in certain stores in the U.S. So, I mean, they're probably going to be put out now. They're coming out next week, so just whatever at this point. They just release them,
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then sticking with Amiibo before we talk about the GameCube adapter, because that also had issues. The Lucario one was put up for pre-order on Toys R Us because it is a Toys R Us exclusive, and it's already sold out online. So you had to go to your store to get that one. Yeah. I want to see if I can get that, resell it. But now, there's a rumor from GameStop, and this is coming from My Nintendo News, using their stores. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but I guess this rumor is also based on GameStop's activities in the past, coincidentally with the same game series. So GameStop's getting the Shulk Amiibo.
Yes.
And apparently what they're planning to do is to sell Shulk, but only order the pre-orders. So whoever's pre-ordering Shulk, they have enough numbers for the Shulk, but once people stop pre-ordering, that's it. So they're going to get that shipment, sell it, and then that's it. But they're going to order more. So, that bumps up the market value, bumps up the resale value, and then a short time later, they'll sell more Shulk Amiibos at like a higher price. And they've done that before with Xenoblades, funny enough, where it was a GameStop exclusive because, it was a hard game to find in America because it was only available through GameStop. It was big in Japan.
Yeah.
Very hard to find here. But then it was months before somebody would try to buy it again. It was crazy because they sold out of it at GameStop. That was it. But then GameStop apparently had the games the whole time. They just opened them and was like, oh, here's the used copies. And they were selling them for $80. So, I mean, whether it's true or not that they're going to do that with the Shulk Amiibo, that's still to be seen. I don't know if just people are just being negative or whatnot. We're just putting that out there. But I really hope not, because that's just messed up, man.
It is messed up.
I don't like that at all. The Amiibo is bringing in a lot of money. Someone's saying that it's probably gonna make Nintendo $1 billion US dollars, but
that's a lot.
yeah, but apparently they possibly meant 1 billion yen or whatnot, because the stories can seem kind of off. But yeah, but they are seeing Nintendo making a lot of money, especially that they may move 3.6 million consoles this year alone, and that's good. So far, so good. I mean, so far the Amiibo's making the money, the Wii U's making the money. Hell, Nintendo's making money right now.
Yeah, right. They turned it around because they were going downhill for a little while.
Oh yeah. Nintendo are saying that certain sold-out Amiibo may return, too. So that's the thing. They're talking about it's going to be discontinued. It's not going to be discontinued. Now they may come back. It's like, what the hell, Nintendo?
Well, this is going back to them needing to make up their mind.
Nintendo America sent out an updated statement. So they're talking about for the North America, Canada, and Latin America, section of, the district or whatnot. Some Amiibo are very popular at launch, and it is possible that some Amiibo in the United States, Canada, and Latin America may not be available right now due to high demand and our efforts to manage shelf space during the launch period. Certain sold-out Amiibo may return to these markets at a later stage. We are continually aiming to always have a regular supply of Amiibo in the marketplace, and there are many waves of Amiibo to come. So I guess after the first couple of waves, maybe they'll re-release some other ones, maybe different models, who knows? But that's official from Nintendo.
As long as I get Marth, I don't care. We're getting every time you mention the Amiibos, I just want Marth, all right?
Nintendo UK saying that they haven't discontinued the GameCube adapter, because there was rumors too that the GameCube adapter was also discontinued, and it's like, what the hell? Like, really? Like, what the hell? Now, here's the thing. And you want to talk about the GameCube adapter being discontinued? Nope, because it's going to be coming back to stock at GameStop, but online only. It's going to be available December 15th. You can't pre-order it, so you got to be online December 15th to get it. If you miss it, who knows if they're going to get it again.
Well, that's ridiculous. This is a very, I don't understand. It's a high supply, like a high demand item, and you're messing around with it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Somebody was speculating online, too. There's a rumor going around as well that it may be that the short supply of GameCube adapters might be because of the people who made the wired fight pad, which is basically the bootleg GameCube controllers that were made to go through the Wii remote.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. The rumor may not be true, in all honesty. I wanted to put that out there, but I wanted to bring up a point with that. Because I remember when Smash Bros. Was being talked about earlier this year, I remember them talking about those fight pads, which is just kind of like, well, if everything's going to be wireless, they don't want to give us wired, controllers. They don't want to give us a GameCube controller, and that's the closest thing you're going to get to a GameCube controller. Fine, I'll use that. I'll use the Wii Remote for that, whatever. Because I remember they showed two. It was like three. Mario, Luigi, and Peach. And it had like an extra Z button in front of the L and R button and whatnot. And it looked different, but it looked like that was going to be the only way to play Smash Bros. For real. But then, all of a sudden, randomly, they're like, oh yeah, GameCube adapter, GameCube controller, boom, there you go, done. And it's like, well, that would probably cause a problem with the person who's making these controllers for you. Because especially, yeah, they're third party, but they have officially licensed buttons and everything from Nintendo. They're getting support from Nintendo. It's kind of messed up how they did that.
It's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, so then now it's just like, when are those controllers actually coming out then?
Are they coming out?
Yeah, I know. Like, they wasted all that money to make all those controllers. Like, where are they now?
I don't know.
Yeah, one last thing about the Amiibos. They're selling secondhand. there was a Peach one that was super rare to a point where she had no legs.
And this is going back to the same. It's like defective amiibos. It's like the Samus with the double arm cannon sold for $2,500.
Yeah.
And
this Peach though.
When we initially talked about this, I was like, well, it's not as big of a defect. Like I think 2 arm cannons is way cooler than missing your legs. So I was like, I don't know what it's sell for, like $2,000 or something.
Try $25,000.
And then when I heard that number, I was like, you got to be joking.
I was hoping so, because maybe it's troll. Maybe they're gonna. That's what I'm looking to see if, if they relisted it, because there's no way somebody paid $25,000 for a legless Peach.
It's ridiculous. It sold for that, or he has it listed?
That was sold for. It was 109 bids.
That's so ridiculous. I would pay. Like I would never pay any of these numbers.
Yeah.
If I were to pay for the legless Peach or the double arm cannon Samus, I'm buying the double arm cannon Samus. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Legless Peach looks like someone broke it.
Yeah, actually, when I was looking at eBay, I laughed because somebody was selling the Invisible Link amiibo. It was basically the packaging, and then they put a bid of $25,000 on it. I just died.
That's funny. That's making fun of all this.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That is really good, actually. So yeah, GameCube adapters. Who knows if they're gonna be discontinued or not? Amiibos. Who knows if they're discontinuing them for real or not? I do hope that they're kind of keeping this going, because why not? You're making money off of it. Why not make more money off of it? If not, you're losing money on it because people are selling those things secondhand for a lot more money than what it is.
Pretty much.
So let's go on to the other news of Nintendo stuff. Going with the 3DS, they updated the software of the game to include a shuffling, like a shuffling of your themes. So you can put themes on a list, and it'll automatically go through your different ones. So you don't have to manually change your theme; it'll just change itself.
Cool.
And another feature is they added the Amiibo thing to it. So Amiibos are coming soon, man, to the 3DS.
Good.
So Animal Crossing news. Nintendo's saying that there will be Animal Crossing news next year. That's it.
Next year.
That's it. So maybe a new one's going to be coming to the Wii U. Because, what was it? The first one came out for the GameCube. Second one came out for the DS.
Right.
And then the third one came out for the Wii. And then the fourth one 3DS. So, I mean, obviously, they've probably
they've gone,
every
main
other
console, handheld. Main console, held hand. So now it's time for main console again.
Yeah.
Wii U?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, why not? Let's see. Talking about future games, Bravely Second is going to be released April 23rd in Japan, and there's a huge collector's edition of it that has some interesting things. Nothing really major, like some little figurines, a book, an art book and novel, mini soundtrack, and other things like that. So that's pretty cool. Bravely Default, I didn't know was that big in Japan for that.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, apparently. Well, people love it here too. Because apparently it's just a throwback to the JRPGs.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a very popular JRPG.
And then some rumor stuff, and then we'll end our Nintendo stuff with some illegal stuff. Funny stuff. Someone brought up that Metroid for the 3DS was in development and was recently canceled. This was people from Unseen 64 that they found that the people who developed Luigi Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS, they found out that the Metro game was being made and it's been canceled. Earthbound Forever may be coming to the Wii U because apparently there's an issue of Game Informer that people are looking at on Amazon.com, which is the February issue, which talks about Earthbound Forever.
Which is cool.
Which Earthbound Forever is basically a trilogy of all the games in one. And if it's going to be coming to the Wii U, that'd be awesome.
I would love to play that.
Especially, this would be the first time that people get Mother 3.
Yeah.
And that'd be interesting because Nintendo did that in the style of, the Super Mario All-Stars, where they had all the games that, basically they had all the Mario games at the time. They had Mario 1, 2, 3, and then they had a fourth one that wasn't released in the US that they released for the first time on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So if they do that, finally, the GBA version, because they already have GBA games for the Wii U.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, at this point, just if they do that, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, Earthbound Forever is definitely an awesome idea. And I didn't get a chance to comment on the Metroid thing.
I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
I love Metroid too. I'm a huge Metroid fan, and I was disappointed with Other M. So to hear that they were making another game and they just canceled it kind of upsets me a little bit.
But Nintendo says that they're going to be making a 2D and 3D Metroid game in the future. So I mean, that's still a wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. But like I said, they were working on something and canceled it, so maybe they weren't happy with it. But I'd rather them take their time and make a quality game instead of making other M again.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Pretty much.
Last thing about Nintendo, Nintendo found out about the thing that the exploit that allows people to run homebrew on a 3DS. Apparently, there's an update. Software version 3.9 kills your homebrew. So if you wanted to have a homebrew, just don't update to 9.3.
Yeah, don't update.
If not, then too late, buddy. Sorry.
I didn't have one, so I'm gonna update it anyway.
Yeah, and I don't care about homebrew on the 3DS. There's not much to offer anyway.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, in all honesty. I think the homebrew for the Wii is better than the homebrew for the 3DS, in all honesty. All right, Xbox, Microsoft news.
Woo.
The Xbox head that we teased before, reacting to Street Fighter V being exclusive to the PlayStation 4. He said business deals happen. We won't do all of them. When we have a first-party franchise in a genre, we don't do all of them. But when we have a first-party franchise in a genre, I'd rather invest in ours. I guess he's referring to Killer Instinct.
Yeah. So
I'd love it if the Xbox fans would play all of the games, but business just makes some deals happen. It's all a part of competition. Because someone had also talked about like a new Banjo-Kazooie or Conker or anything else like that would make up for the loss for a Street Fighter game. He loves that. He said that he loves the idea. The game franchise bartering. I'll work on making amends for Street Fighter. So
all right.
So there you go.
Hey, we're gonna get something.
Banjo-Kazooie or Conker, maybe an actual good game.
Or he'll troll and just make like something stupid.
They're gonna be DLC for PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, right. Xbox All Stars.
Oh shit, that's right. That's right.
Xbox All Stars.
Xbox All Stars. Well, they said they weren't gonna do a game like that anyway.
What could you even have in Xbox? There's nothing in Xbox. There's no like
Call of Duty, Halo.
Yeah, there's no interesting characters that are only on Xbox, like Chief.
That's it. Chief and Banjo. You wouldn't want Chief and Banjo fighting?
Okay, but who else are you gonna have? That's it. Just Chief. Choose Chief or Banjo. Your choice.
Chief versus Banjo-Kazooie. That's the game.
DLC Cortana. I don't know. It's no, not happening.
All right. Microsoft also acknowledging finally that it failed to pay certain developers that made games on the Xbox Live Indie Games channel for the 360s. Apologized for it. They said that it did happen because of a technical issue in our payment system. We apologize for this incident and anticipate developers will receive payments within the next 2 weeks. Boom. Just on time for Christmas.
All right, so they're paying them at least.
Yeah, hell yeah. They better.
Yeah, you better pay me.
Exactly.
It's like, shit happens.
Yeah,
you don't get paid. My bad. Like, no, you better pay me.
Exactly.
So, hey, you know what? Stop. I'm trying not to say it. Shit happens. Sometimes tech stuff goes wrong. That's the computers and technology bring us a lot of good, but sometimes they screw up.
Mm-hmm. Now going to PC, and this is like the final couple of stories. PC news and stuff like that, and also virtual reality. Gear VR, which is the thing I was telling you about, that it's a slot to put your Samsung Galaxy S4 and or Samsung Note 4, excuse me, and you make it your virtual reality thing. And apparently it's closed off, so you can't really tinker around with it or anything. It just you play it and that's it. Now the Oculus itself, it's still going to be open for now, but as far as the Gear VR, that's just a closed thing. That's it.
Word.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of the reasons that the Gear VR is, I guess you can say, closed is because it was a strategic decision that we needed to make to have a closed store. There are a lot of technical reasons to it, and it's not our device. This is Oculus founder Palmer Luckey talking about this. All the applications have very deep level access to the hardware itself. That's cool, I guess, but I guess it's a good introduction anyway to virtual reality for certain people. If you have $200 to drop on a helmet and, more money to invest on a Note 4, then there you go. There's your first virtual reality console.
Cool.
The Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to... The Flight Simulator X is going to come out December 18th on your birthday.
Yeah.
And it's going to be re-released with a special edition on Steam. So it's going to be recreations of several different flyable aircraft, including helicopters, commercial jets, fighter jets, and small single-engine planes. So there you go.
I never really understood like flight simulator.
You don't want to fly?
No, not really.
You don't.
I want to fly. I just want to be in the the seating area.
It taught Keenan Thompson to fly in Snakes on a Plane. Remember, that's how he landed the plane.
I played a flight simulator. Tired of these mother effing snakes on this mother effing plane. Samuel L. Jackson, you're a man.
I never played it either, but I don't get why. Because basically, I mean, to each their own with games.
I feel like a flight simulator and flying an actual plane are two completely different things.
Well, people have modded it to where you have like 8 monitors looking at the sky, and then you have your control pads and everything down there, like your controls and everything. You're basically in the cockpit.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, if it were me, if I were to do a flight simulator and then fly a plane, people are dying that day.
Oh, man. Well, hey, it's going to be on Steam. Maybe you should try it out sometime. It's going to be on a Steam sale, too. Watch. It's going to be like $2. You can definitely check it out.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a great birthday gift.
Yeah, right? All right. So going to esports, here's some crazy stuff that happened. Well, here's the thing. Esports is growing, and there's a freaking just amazing just college, just sports and everything. I don't know. It's just crazy. Now, here's the thing. New York Times is reporting that there's a large collegiate esports organization, and there's about 10,000 students in it.
That's crazy.
Collegiate Star League, that's the name of the group. They told the New York Times that the organization is active at 450 schools. Last year, the number was 260.
Wow.
This is just how basketball was in the 1940s. This is Christopher Watt. He's a guy from Riot Games. He made League of Legends.
Yeah.
A lot of the structure and organization you see are more formal athletes. That groundwork is still being laid down here.
The difference between collegiate sports and collegiate esports is that collegiate sports lead you to a life in professional gaming. I mean, excuse me. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Collegiate sports leads to a life most likely in professional sports. Whereas not everyone, actually only it's 5% make it to sports.
A very small
But
percentage.
for most sports, you need to do college to get into the pros.
Yeah.
Whereas esports, it's kind of like, all right, you played in college, but that guy's really good in solo queue, so let's take him on our professional team, So it's like playing college esports isn't necessarily going to pan out for you or anyone, really.
Really? You think so? You mean it'd be like college basketball where everybody's hungry, which is why people prefer. I mean, even football too. I mean, people prefer the college sports versus the professional.
It'll
sports.
definitely help get you noticed, but I'm just saying, as far as being a professional esport player, playing in solo queue against the professionals, because not the professionals don't only play against other professionals, like they play against the challenger tier. So if you're just a random guy who happens to be like one of the best players in the world who's in the challenger tier, and you would go against double lift and you beat him bot lane, he's gonna recognize your name, and then so he'll start recognizing your name and think you're good, and then a team will be like, wow, that guy's pretty good. Let's just take him on our team. He's just some guy living out the team might be based in California. Oh, he's some guy who lives out in Texas. Let's fly him in. Let's test him out with the team, see if he gets along with us. And then if they like you, guess what? You just went from living in Texas to living in California.
Yeah. But now, here's the thing. There's a lot of money in it, though.
There is a lot of money
for scholarships, because Riot Games talked about the North American Collegiate Championship. They held it in February, and the tournament offered $100,000 in scholarship prizes.
Yeah, but that's good. I love that.
Even Blizzard talked about that. They had a partnership with the Esports Association to fund and grow esports in college.
I wish this were around when I was in high school.
Yeah, seriously. What the hell?
I was really good at games, and I could have gotten a scholarship for playing video games.
I mean, come on now. Like, seriously. I mean, I wasn't good at anything in sports, but video games, I was the shit, man.
I ran track in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a scholarship off it.
Yeah, one of my friends did, actually. That's funny. Funny enough to say
I got hurt senior year.
So. That sucks.
So it was like any interest. There wasn't too many people looking at me, but anyone who was like, that guy's injury prone. Screw you, guy. I was like, fuck, damn it. So, yeah, that's that one. Life's unfair. But basically, what I'm saying is that I was really good at video games in high school. I wish esports were bigger.
Yeah, I know. Esports
I'm
is becoming a thing.
few years too late here.
I know. Esports is becoming the thing, man. I still want to be a part of it. Screw it. I'll still try it out.
Hell yeah. I'm only 25.
Yeah, why not? Twitch is gonna be. Here's the last story of the day. Talk about esports. Twitch. They have a bunch of streams of sports and all that good stuff. Twitch acquired Good Game Agency, and they're the company that manages 2 of the largest esports teams, Alliance and Evil Geniuses.
Oh God.
So, what do you think? Like, this is crazy.
I don't know. I feel like that's favoritism.
What do you mean?
well, most people know that Twitch is the biggest provider of watching esports.
Yes.
And as far as teams go, Alliance is actually favored to be one of the best League of Legends teams in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And EG, they're middle of the pack in North America kind of thing.
But they're also good at other things. Like
right. They
games
also play
and
other
everything
games
else.
too. Right, exactly. But so I'm just saying, like, Twitch is the main place where people go to watch esports. So it's like I feel like they're like getting involved too much. That would be like
Really?
That'd be like, for instance, Fox
Owning a
the
team?
Yankees.
Yeah, I guess
If Fox owned the Yankees, then it's like, that's a little.
that'd be evil on top of evil, according to some people.
Yeah, I guess. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the supplier shouldn't get involved with the supply.
Here's some quotes. Esports has been even bigger than it is today. It seems like every other day there's a new article in a major publication or new media company taking a shot at producing or hosting an esports content. There's different and more mainstream interest in our industry, which is a good thing. But while it's exciting, we need to make sure the interest is focused and channeled in the right way if we want to keep growing our industry without breaking it. That's why, more than ever, it's necessary for us to work together. This was Good Game CEO Alex Garfield talking about why he sold Good Game to Twitch. So yeah, I mean, to make it grow, Twitch has to own it. But I guess maybe Twitch is maybe, I don't know. I kind of get that, but that's a lot, man, and especially Twitch owning it. That's a
As long as they keep it separate, like, as if, like, just don't get too involved. Just like have your name on the ownership, but don't get involved.
I guess
Let them play.
But then that's the thing too. Are they going to change the name? Are they still going to be Evil Geniuses? Or are they going to be Twitch?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna stay as Evil Geniuses, and they're gonna stay as Alliance. And stuff. So I don't see that changing.
Twitch, Justin Wong.
Well, I'm pretty sure those are like sub companies.
Yeah. Well, remember, Evil Geniuses, Justin Wong is a part of it.
Yeah.
Twitch, Dr. Pee.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it the way it is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, but I mean, hopefully this is going in the right direction. That's all I can hope. I don't know where it can go, in all honesty, because I mean, like, Twitch is making the money anyway off of these guys, and then they're kind of returning the money back. So I guess, I mean, either way, you're changing. You're changing ownership, but then you're still guaranteed to get the money because the advertising still goes to Twitch, and then Twitch has to pay you. So
it's the recyclement. It's
Yeah,
recycling the money.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing so much, as long as they can make it grow, as long as there's no lull and they know how to handle it, that type of thing. And that's to say if esports will actually be on TV one day, which I mean, it looks like it's growing so much that it may be coming on TV, man.
It may. Oh, ESPN 3, man.
Yeah, ESPN 3. Hey, that's online, but hey, it's
online.
Something.
But yeah, we're making progress.
Yeah.
And one last thing about esports, I just want to congratulate Cloud9 for winning IEM San Jose in League of Legends.
Nice.
North America coming in strong.
There you go. So that's about it for this week. This might be our last week. Like I said, it kind of maybe sort of should have probably maybe be our last show. I don't know. But if it is,
that just kind of all kinds of confused me. Right there.
Yes, I know. That's the point. Because if it's next week, then it's like, hey, we promised, but you know what? This is it. But who knows? But if this is the show, we want to thank you all, for tuning in. Next year should be better. Next year should have video. That's for damn sure.
We're working on it.
You're damn sure working on it, which I got to talk to you about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, we're on the Twitters. I'm at TEH_Rick, Rick.
And I'm Steve B. Agilism, AGILISM.
And
our show Twitter is at 2BroGamersPod with the number 2.
Yeah, and of course we have our blog, which will be a little bit more active. I'm probably gonna start going backwards at this point, but 26, our last episode had so much information that we needed it to be in a blog.
Yes,
but still visit it, 2BroGamersPodcast.wordpress.com. We're gonna be around until the end of the year, so I mean we're gonna be recording stuff, but stuff's gonna be released slowly. So yeah, man. So we'll see you all, and if not, Happy New Year and enjoy your holiday, all that good stuff.
Happy holidays, and yes, enjoy your new year. Yeah.